What is up, guys? Welcome back to the Lumsden Motorsports Garage. I'm Wade Lumsden, and today we are working on the Modified. So I already got the car up in the air, and tires, well, the back tire's off, and one of the front tires are off. I got a lot of things to do here. I was just starting to make my list. Boom, list of things to do. I was waiting on some parts to show up throughout the week. It is currently Thursday, and those parts showed up, but I just realized that I'm missing a couple things, mostly oils and stuff like that, so no big deal. I'll be able to go get oil here shortly, so I can perform my oil changes and stuff. You know, the basic maintenance, right? Got to change engine oil, got to change that transmission oil, and the differential gear lube back there. Keep everything in tip-top shape. But we have a handful of other things that are, I'm not going to say that they're major, but they definitely need to be done, including a lower control arm, fixing the bumper, checking the rear end for square, you know, nutting and bolting the whole thing, fixing T-bar. I mean, the list is, well, longer than I would like it to be, but let's get to work. So I was showing you guys a little bit in the last video here. I got my nose hung up in the way here. That I was, you know, kind of fixing this T-bar. I call it the T-bar, back deck bar, whatever you want to call it. This part was just twisted beyond all reason, and this was all bent crazy. And I straightened out as much as I could, but it also broke off right here when I was trying to straighten it. So I kind of got it pinned up here. Now that I've moved it, I'll have to move it back, but I'll get it kind of situated there. But then the bottom piece was also so twisted. I don't own a torch, otherwise I probably would have heated it to try to twist it in place. So but like I said, we're just kind of you know, baller on a budget in this case. You know, only got a couple races left, so what I did is I put a slice in it in the bar, and I'm gonna go ahead and put a couple little welds on that with it in place. It's actually really close to where it mounts, so I'll probably just put a couple tacks to hold it in place. Same thing with the upper portion, put a couple tacks in place, and then pull it off, weld it up. I'll weld it up, and then shove it back on there. So I did go get me a new regulator, woo, for my bottle, and got a new bottle. If you guys remember, in building the Tough Truck, I ran out of gas, partially because I didn't have gauges on the the last set. Let's see here, do I have that thing sitting around here? I do somewhere, but the gauges were completely trashed on it, and not useful even remotely at all. So I had to replace the gauges on that, yeah, so start with that, and then probably when I go to actually weld all of that up, I might start doing some stuff with the front bumper, but I just want to get that stuff ready to rock and roll for when I get there. I'm gonna end up, I think, my passenger side actually, I mean, doesn't look fantastic, but it seems to be okay. Like it's okay. The driver's side, however, the back seems to be all right, but the front is pretty crushed in. And one of the body mounts in the back here, that aluminum piece there, is obviously not attached. So gonna do a little bit of body work. That's kind of some simple, easy stuff. but then I'm going to dive headlong into some of the stuff under the car. I was kind of telling you what I was doing with the body stuff because I probably won't show you what I'm doing. I just wanted to give you an idea of what was going on. So yeah, I'm gonna get these tacked in place. Okay, so got this tack together, a couple little tacks and a little bit of tack up there. That's ready to come off and be welded up, but I had moved up front and I started working up here. First thing I did was I checked my upper ball joint. It is, you know, I thought it had a little tweak in it, but it had some dirt buildup and stuff. So I ended up taking it out and I put it on an impact and spun it, and there was no wobble in it, so it's not bent. It was just a optical illusion. But I figured I guess I need to show you this because it was almost really bad, because if you guys remember correctly, I was in a major hurry, and the Modified was kind of a second thought to the tough truck, and this almost ended terribly. I started taking all this apart and look what's missing. Yeah, I'm like 100% sure that I put a nut on there, but apparently it didn't stay on there. So I don't know if I just wasn't paying attention and didn't tighten it down all the way or what. So lesson to me and to you, that was almost extremely bad. Could you imagine losing that bolt? Bad things would have happened. So make sure, I guess, when you're putting your stuff together, you're putting it together all the way. Even if you're in a hurry, it's better to take a couple extra seconds just to make sure you're doing it and doing it right. That was a very good example of me not. So is what it is. I'm lucky that, you know, I'm going through everything and I'm replacing this lower control arm, and I caught it before something bad happened. Of course, I probably should have been able to catch that in a nut and bolt check of my car anyways. But other thing I wanted to talk about here is this. So this is my little shock mount. Remember, we just kind of, this was the one we put together at the racetrack, just as quick, fast, and in a hurry. And you can see I'm trying to move this thing and it is binding up in spots. So that just means when we were putting this thing together, I know we ended up having to chop it off of a control arm and add it to this control arm. And when we did that, we obviously didn't allow for this heim. See, look, it's all jammed up right there. We didn't allow for that heim to have the freedom to move like it needed. So I have a feeling that's why I kept losing my right front shock, because last race, that was not the first time that had happened. But yeah, it came untwisted. I made sure this thing was tight as all get out. The shock was still okay. This time we didn't luck out, and the shock is kind of messed up. The shaft is messed up. So unfortunately, that stinks. So we'll be replacing the shock. We're replacing the lower control arm. These are things that happen if you don't check your geometry on your shocks and stuff. Is what it is. That's what happens when you get in a huge hurry and you just kind of slap stuff together. You miss small little details, like a nut on the lower control arm and proper action on your heims for your shocks, and it just kind of made things bind up over here, and I'm sure that's what allowed it to get loose and then just slowly unscrew. So yeah, just wanted to share that with you before I keep moving here. Okay, a bit of an update here. I pretty much got this side all together and done. I put anti-seize on the ball joints, both sides, new ball joint down below, checked this ball joint up here, it was good. We checked the spindle, it was good. The measurement of 7 and 5/8 from end to end, that was good. Plus we used the weirs, my weirs. Here, I'll pull it out here. Spindle checker here, this one, and it was good. So I like to do both. I like to use the spindle checker, and the measurement's a really quick way to do it, but I like to use that spindle checker. It's really nice. So that's good. I still need to tighten up the steering here, or make sure that it is good. Remember, I have the roller bearing on the inside in between the spring, the thrust bearing, I guess, in between the spring and my OD grab cup from Weir's. I pulled that out, I cleaned it up. I used, it had some grime and stuff on it. I used some WD-40 to help get rid of some of the grime. You just put a little bit on there. It does actually pretty good when you're trying to clean stuff. And then I put my wheel bearing grease on there. I have videos, I think my prep videos going to Bristol goes over me doing those. So got that all done. We lubed up the Heims for the upper control arms. I did grease up the lower control arms. There's that grease fitting under there, right there. So I did get that greased. Greased the ball joint. I set the I got the Howe ball joint in here, the ones that Welding solid, and then you can replace the ball joint themselves. Remember, you tighten those up until it touches, and then you back it off 1/8 of a turn. So got that. That's all greased up. So rolling along here, but one thing that I ran into a stop, and it's kind of getting late here. The clearance on my shock here, right here. My new shock has a new Heim end on it, and I'll show you here. Boom, boom, and you can see this collar right around here, nice and wide and round. Let me show you on the old one. I left it on the old control arm here, but you can see here, see how it's shaved? Both ends here have been cut down to allow it to roll over a little bit more, to give it just a little bit more clearance. That was not the issue on that one. It was bottoming out and grabbing in different spots underneath there. But this one, when the way my shock is, from here to here, when I go into full compression, it rolls over just a little bit too much and starts contacting, that collar starts contacting the top of the shock mount right here. So I trim off the collar on those, but it's a little late tonight, so I'll have to hit that with grinder tomorrow. And but right front seems to be like it's gonna be a-okay. I still got some more again, checking and tightening and adjusting in the front end. I want to check my caster camber and toe. I will probably do that stuff off screen, probably. Let me know if you guys want me to go over how to do your camber caster toe, or at least how I do my camber caster toe. Comment below if that's something you want me to go over. I'd be happy to do it. Probably not when I'm in such a huge hurry to get done, because it does take a little while when you're shooting video. But let me know. That's definitely, we're getting close to the off season, so that's definitely stuff I can go over if that's what you would like. And on that case, if there's anything that you'd like to go over on modified, tough truck, any of that stuff, feel free to comment below and let me know what you'd like to go over. I'm more than happy to do it. I do want to point this out though. I'm pretty ecstatic about this. So here I was checking my wheel bearings and stuff. Remember, I used that Dalb gear lube and a bearing spacer in here, and we've got a bunch of races on it now, and still, check this out. Like, that's even with a little bit of brake drag happening. I'm pretty happy with that. It's nice and smooth. Nothing's loosened up. Nothing's moving the way it in a way it shouldn't be moving. So I'm pretty stoked. It's basically an entire season on that without really having to tear it apart. So rock on. I'm gonna keep going here and come back and update you some more. I don't know if I'll get another update in tonight. It might be tomorrow. So here we go. Okay, one last quick update for the evening. I'm still going to be in here working a little bit, but I have now drained out, or currently draining the motor, but I've already drained the transmission. So I'll be filling that up. Next on the list will be the, of course, the rear end, but my my little tub that I put all my waste oil in, right here. I always go from there into here, and then when this is full, I gotta dump it. Well, that's almost full, so I'm gonna have to go dump that tomorrow, and then I can drain the rear. But that's great. Getting one step closer, as many things done as we can. I did weld up here and down here. I know I'm not a phenomenal welder, but it will stick and hold. I now have to fix the messed up little piece here that goes across the back. It's all bent up, but it goes across there. That won't be too hard. It won't be pretty, but I'll get it done. So yeah, I mean, we're moving along. I'm to the point where some of this stuff I'm either waiting to be able to dump, or I'm waiting to be able to make lots of noise. which it is what it is. I'm not racing tomorrow. Tonight is Thursday. It is currently Thursday the 7th. So I got time. I don't race until Saturday the 9th. It's Saturday the 9th and 10th Dirt Track Championship in Fallon, Nevada. So I still have tomorrow evening to finish up here, but the list is still it's still pretty long. It is what it is. I also have to remember to go get fuel tomorrow. I'm gonna try to just buy it by the gallon and fill up. I usually go through about 15 to 20 gallons of methanol in a night. So I'll have to do like 40-ish, 35, 40-ish gallons of methanol. Just go fill up my jugs instead of buying a barrel and then having 15, 20 gallons left over. So I'm gonna try to play it kind of close, but I'll have to go do that tomorrow. And yeah, just still the general buttoning up of stuff, and I foresee myself finishing the car tomorrow night, but probably late tomorrow night because I still have to work tomorrow. Probably late tomorrow night, and then having to load the car and drive out to Fallon on Saturday morning. So is what it is. But with that, I'm going to leave you. I'm over here going way over here off screen, but I'm going to leave you guys. Thanks for watching. I'll try to get another update before and go over what I'm doing before actual race weekend. So don't forget to like, subscribe, questions, comments, concerns down below. Lumsden Motorsports Facebook page. You can also check out the Lumsden Motorsports website. It's lumsdenmotorsports.com. Anything else? No. I really appreciate you guys, and fingers crossed that all this stuff goes well, and we're going to go have fun this weekend. So We'll catch you next video.